So when we talk about the concept or the construct of being the bank, we got to understand what the bank is, okay? Y'all ready? So here's the bank. This is going to mess y'all up, because I've been studying the bank for a long, long time, okay? So here it is. Y'all ready? The bank is nothing but
I love you, Bobby.
So when we talk about the concept or the construct of being the bank, we got to understand what the bank is, okay? Y'all ready? So here's the bank. This is going to mess y'all up, because I've been studying the bank for a long, long time, okay? So here it is. Y'all ready? The bank is nothing but a well-run business controlled by a well-organized family. That has a plan for multiplication. I don't know if I spelled that right. I ain't been teaching a long time. But y'all get it. The bank is nothing but a well-run family. So we're looking at these banks like there's something different. There's a bank. We got to understand what do you mean by that? How does the bank get money? Anyone? The consumers, the people, customers, right? So the bank gets money directly from the customer in order for it to play the fractional reserve game. Correct? But a lot of us got a misunderstanding about fractional reserve. Well, when the bank opened up, then it just print money. The commercial bank does not print its own money. Anytime the commercial bank gets money from the Federal Reserve, it's only when their reserve that's with the Federal Reserve runs low. Because there were people, fractional reserve is you put $1 in, they can lend 9. So when a bunch of people go to the bank and want cash, it makes their reserve numbers fluctuate. So then they got to do overnight fluctuations, or they got to do overnight transfers so that they can keep their bank in compliance. So if you understand the construct of a bank, it's nothing but a business. So the bank says, hey, I'm going to sell a service and get money from the customer, and from that money, I'm going to then lend it out to other businesses or banks or people and receive my surplus capital back, and we keep this infinite cycle moving. Well, when a bank hits any market, they go directly to the consumer for its capital. When we hit a market, we go directly to a third-party bank to get capital. Now, when you're leveraging buyouts to buy assets and companies, maybe there's some complications to it, but you're talking to a guy that built an 8-figure company debt-free without any investors. We own 4 tech companies. All of our companies are run by CEOs. So when we talk about practicing the concept of banking, when I tell people I am the bank, it's because of that. So let's understand this construct of banking. So what do? They take the money from the customer, then they immediately consider that earned income a liability. It has to go out. When we take the money in, we immediately see it as income for us to go splurge and buy cool stuff. Your first business is not the business you should be living on. Your first business is the ATM machine that you can print money from on a daily basis so you can really play the banker's game. The banker's game is about acquisition. Say acquisition. And the only thing the bank says, how can I turn this $1 that they gave me into $10 that somebody else gives me from me making it move. That's it. Surplus capital. And I know a lot of y'all say y'all hate jobs, but if you're still running your companies, you still have a job. You know that, right? CEO, executive, COO, head of marketing, you know that's still a job title, correct? So we take this earned income and we don't play the banker's game because why? We want to drive a nice car that's leased or financed. Live in a house that's leased or financed or rented. It's fine, whatever. Have a lifestyle that's not a lifestyle that you own. Y'all, last year we took a $3.5 million loss in 45 days. That my company had to bite on it that had nothing to do with me. But because we practice this surplus capital, we build our companies on the worst thing happening, not the best thing happening. So we start with destruction in mind, then we go to the end in mind, then we fill the gaps. Does that make sense? So we're using this capital that you're getting from selling a product or a service to customers. Then from that money, do we play the acquisition game in either getting more customers, acquiring more facilities, or acquiring more businesses, assets that can produce you capital where you don't have to have a job of daily work to do to make the same amount of money. But a lot of us try to skip to that before you master this. So there are levels of mastery that we must understand. But let's talk about the bank real quick. What products do the bank sell? CDs, what else? Checking accounts, savings, loans, what else? What other product? Mortgage, credit card, auto loan. What the call thing in the back? Security deposit. Safety deposit, there you go, I don't use it. Safety deposit. And then they so slick. They then say, we got a consumer side and a business side. So they create the same product and just provide different pricing. That's no different than your business. You should have a consumer version of your product and you should have a business version of your product. The curriculum, we charge $1 a month to teach business, banking, and finance. $1. Not thousands, not hundreds of dollars, $1. Why? Because we live the life of banking. But when we talk about the construct of that, but when we do licensing deals with my same curriculum, they paying $250,000 to $1 million a year. Different pricing for different demographics. Does that make sense? My only job as the chairman and business developer of our companies is to find better ways to capitalize on our surplus capital. So we acquire. What I
want you to understand is that I'm not giving y'all all the game for free on no goddamn on YouTube. You're going to have to join the Power Bank Society to really get that sauce.